The wait is almost over.
This crowd is ready for hockey.
The world's best players take the ice to compete for their country. International Best on Best hockey comes to Boston as Bruins stars Brad Marchand of Team Canada and Charlie McAvoy of Team USA compete to see which hockey nation will reign. Canada, Finland, Sweden, USA. The Four Nations face-off. Get your tickets today.
And I play college hockey.
I'm Cale Makar, and I play college hockey.
Whether you are a fan or a player, nothing compares to college hockey.
Good evening and welcome into the U Show, week number 11. Ezra Gennello along with you. We are officially well into the season. We are past Thanksgiving. We're just about the third mark. We're a third of the way through the USHL regular season. Doesn't mean if your team's out of the playoffs that they're not going to make the playoffs. Doesn't mean that your team, if they're in first place, that they're going to finish in first place. But it does give us a good look at where teams are and what we can come to expect from some teams. Of course, this is the USHL. It's a developmental league, and players are getting better and better and better every single day. And you can't just count a team out just because the first third of the season wasn't that great. You take a look at the Chicago Steel and last year, and they were not the greatest team in the first half, and they were the best team, the hottest team in the USHL in the second half of the season, ended up making their way into the 2024 Clark Cup playoffs. But that was the Chicago Steel team from last season, and we're talking about teams as if the playoffs start today, but they don't. It's just 11 weeks into the USHL, but let me tell you, week number 11, it was phenomenal. It leads to a great show tonight here on the U Show. We get to sit down and talk with the head coach and general manager of the Des Moines Buccaneers, Matt Curley, alongside Bucs forward Jack Kernan. I got to talk with them earlier today via Zoom. Of course, the Bucs, they are in Rochester, New York, along with the Green Bay Gamblers, taking part in the 2024 American Cup powered by Wegmans. It's going to be phenomenal. I got to be there last year at the American Cup at the Tim Hortons Recplex out in Rochester. It's an awesome event. There's a youth tournament going on at the same time. It's a great opportunity for exposure, and that's all the USHL is about, is exposure, not just for the USHL guys, but the future USHL guys too. So we'll talk a little later to Matt Curley, the head coach and general manager of the Des Moines Buccaneers, as well as Jack Kernan, who not so long ago was one of those future USHL players. We'll talk about the American Cup. We'll talk about things in Des Moines, and we'll talk about this season with them. We also take a look back at Week 11 in the USHL. We'll talk about the scores. We'll talk about the goal scorers. We'll talk about the guys that have been getting it done all season long. And we'll also take a look forward at Week 12. But a big thing that happened this past weekend in Week 11, that was the start of Teddy Bear Toss season. Now, we talk about promotions all the time here on the U Show. Well, J.J. Montero, he kicked off one of the best promotions in hockey, and that is the annual Teddy Bear Toss. Happened this past weekend in Waterloo. There are some more coming up this weekend, including in Muskegon with some special guests from the fellas over at Bar Down, the big-time hockey media company. But Waterloo getting the party started. J.J. Montero letting the Teddy Bears fly. You know, it's funny, they have a really great broadcaster, Tim Harwood, in Waterloo, and he says, "Here come the Hawks." And this weekend he said, "Here come the Teddy Bears." But Tim Harwood, J.J. Montero, from the Waterloo Blackhawks with the Teddy Bear Toss, got the week started off well. We actually think we get to see that facility in the top plays when we take a look at them. But first, let's take a look at some of the top performers in the USHL. Artemi Nizameyev, the USHL Forward of the Week, the member of the Tri-City Storm. You have Caden Harrington, the Defenseman of the Week of the Lincoln Stars. And then in between the pipes, the USHL Goaltender of the Week. That's none other than A.J. Rayeltz of the Cedar Rapids Rough Riders. Let's take a look at the USHL Players of the Week in Week 11.
Got the puck here at the dot. Back to the line, Bunkowski. Top the far circle, Nizimayev. Shoots and scores! Number 2 on the night for Nizimayev. Number 4 on the weekend. A power play goal. To shut less than a minute after Green Bay tally. Puck out at center. Tries sending the offensive end. Little rush. Nizimayev left circle. Stick handles to the net and scores. 5-hole past Moffett and into the back of the cage. And Tri-City strikes again. Now they've got a 5-4 lead with 14:51 to go in the third. Wide to the near side of the net. And an open look there as Moffett slow to slide over. Stick break McEwen. Did get it to Nizimayev. He scores! Artemi between the circles.
Left wing for Loomer. Delays. Looks to Hendricks with the lane. Over to Harrington. His shot. He scores! Caden Harrington for a third straight game lights the lamp. We play on as the Stars charge north. Harrington dangles. He scores! Caden Harrington picks up right where he left off from last weekend. Tie up behind the cage. Stars content to let it continue. As De La Sala has the puck come to him. Harrington scoops it up, sends it into the empty net, and picks up his second of the night.
Gets it to the left-hand side, takes the return. Montaro in front, shot over the top of the goal. Played back to the near side. Montero gets it again. Cross ring, shot, save, ring.
Walker fed it to Mason, flipped ahead by Huck. He tries to chase it down, gets there, and tries a backhander.
On the boards, Townsend has it there. He's bounced off the puck, gets it back. Townsend takes it behind it.
So your USHL Players of the Week for Week 11 are Artemi Nizimayev, Caden Harrington, and A.J. Railts. Forward defense and net minding. Nizimayev, 7 points in 3 games. Are you kidding me? Almost as great of a week as how beautiful those black Tri-City jerseys are. The black and the purple, they look phenomenal. They are maybe all USHL first team in jerseys. Those Tri-City Storm thirds, the dark, the purple with the black, they looked awesome, and Artemi Nizimayev made them look even better. A 7-point performance for Nizimayev, 4 goals and 3 assists. He was a big difference maker for the Storm against Green Bay this week. And in fact, let's take a look. How did the Tri-City Storm fare in the Eastern Conference against the Green Bay Gamblers? We'll see how they did, as well as the rest of the USAHL. If we take a look at the Week 11 scoreboard, you see on Wednesday. Now, this is an interesting schedule because of the holiday. Wednesday, you had a couple of games. Tri-City, they fell to the Lincoln Stars 5-0. Phantoms picked up a 5-4 win to the NTDP. The Gamblers picked up a win over the Steel, while the Musketeers defended home ice at the Tyson Event Center against the defending champs, the Fargo Force. Then on Thursday, just one game on Thanksgiving, the Cedar Rapids Rough Riders and Waterloo Blackhawks. The front end of their 2-game series went the way of the Rough Riders at Young Arena. Then on Friday, we had 5 games in the USAHL. The Bucks took on the NTDP. We talk a bit about that series with head coach and general manager Matt Curley of the Buccaneers. They picked up a win 3-2. They then watched the Sioux City Musketeers fall to the Stampede on the road in Sioux Falls in a shootout. I will tell you that a goal in that shootout is involved in our top plays of the week. The Fighting Saints picked up a 3-1 win over top the Muskegon Lumberjacks, while the Force defended home ice against the visiting Omaha Lancers. Tri-City, they picked up a 6-4 win over top of the Gamblers. And then 7 more games on Saturday to round out the weekend. It was a fun Saturday. Lots of action, a lot of goals and a lot of saves. And a lot of saves for Mr. Marvin Strahl, the netminder for the Youngstown Phantoms, who picked up a 3-0 shutout over top the Des Moines Buccaneers along with his team. The Lumberjacks, they picked up the weekend split against the Fighting Saints 4-3. They won in regulation. The Stampede, they were at home and they played well on home ice. 4-1 over the Lancers. The Steel, also at home against an Eastern Conference foe, the Madison Capitals, 2-4 in favor of Chicago's. 4-3 in favor of the Lincoln Stars on home ice at the Icebox, while the Cedar Rapids Rough Riders, they returned home for the back end of a 2-game home-and-home series against the Waterloo Blackhawks. The stable was buzzing all night Saturday night as the Riders made their way to a 2-1 win, and then Tri-City picked up their second win on the week, 5-2 over top of the Green Bay Gamblers. It was a phenomenal week in the USAHL last week. And not just with the amount of goals and the amount of saves, but the pretty goals and the pretty saves. Now, I don't think there are any highlight reel saves in the top 5 plays of the week this week. There are some highlight reel goals, though. We mentioned a shootout goal. J.J. Wiebusch. No, Ethan Wittenbach. Wiebusch, he's gone. He's in the NCAA now. He was a member of the Herd last year. It's Ethan Wittenbach. Two guys that play similar styles, two guys that love to find the back of the net and light the lamp. Featured in the USHL top 5 plays of the week, Ethan Wittenbach, but it's not him that starts us off. Let's take a look at the USHL top 5 plays from week 11.
As it does come loose, just tipped away from Warwick, but he knocks down Musa. Stepping in, Ostapovich got the puck back, forced to the line, stays onside, takes a shot, he scores. Ostapovich came across the high slot, just keeping the puck onside, and lifted one up over the right shoulder of Daniel Moore to give the Rough Riders a 2-1 lead at 16:03 of the second period. Hawks looked like they'd worked it loose, but never got it completely back across the blue line. And Ostapovich used the screen at the top of the crease with Nelson camped out there to hit the top corner. Pretty good case for this to be an unassisted power play goal for Ostapovich. Each team does have a power play score.
On top, that's Sikora there. And now Gunderson. Got two right in front. Backside shot, goal! What a pass! That goes Pritchard to Gavin Gary, and Gary buries his 6th goal of the season. Sioux City has cut the lead in half on a Hard Rock Hotel and Casino power play. They went goal line, beautiful pass by Tate Pritchard over to Gavin.
Two of the top teams in the East. A close battle tonight in Muskegon. Saints right to left. It's Dennis into the offensive zone. Wide on the left wing. Flips it toward the circle. Saints find the shot. They score! It's Ruohonen off the post and in. It's a 2-1 Saints lead with 1:53 left. After missing 4 games, Ruohonen comes back and puts the Saints in front in the final 2 minutes. His 5th of the season.
Wittenbach, a right-handed shot, picks up the puck. He'll go wide to the left side. Way wide, inside the left circle. The hash marks, fakes, forehand, and he scores! He went from backhand to forehand. A great move by Wittenbach, and the Stampede have tied it at 1 here.
All on the play. Barnes stretching it out, and here's Ramos on the break. Ramos, backhand, score! Hunter Ramos, 1-goal game! Hunter Ramos, 2-1 Fargo. What a move by Hunter Ramos. It's a 1-goal game as he shushes the crowd. How about that, Lancer fans? And watch this. This is beautiful. Ramos wraps it around the pad of Lendak, and that's what the doctor ordered. What a shot by Ramos, hooking it around the pad. And Ramos may go.
So welcome back into the U Show, your USHL top 5 plays of the week. Hunter Ramos, a beautiful breakaway goal in Fargo for the Lancers. The top play of the week. Now, I like to say, because I'm a broadcaster, right? I played hockey, did my time on the ice. Now I'm up in the broadcast booth. That's not just the top 5 plays of the week, but it's the top 5 calls in the week, too. Frank Zorowski, the voice of the Lancers, in the mix. Tim Harwood, he was there, not his team scoring, but Tim Harwood, a call of the week. You also have Josh Starr from the Dubuque Fighting Saints. The broadcasters do a great job here in the USHL. So do a lot of broadcasters. But here in the USHL, they get to do it on Flow Hockey, the official live stream partner of the USHL. Great shows every night. When you're on the official live stream partner of the league, you know you're going to get a treat. Great hockey, great viewing experience. And it was a great viewing experience, but it's also been a great experience on the ice for those players, for some more than others. Some guys have been tearing it up. In the case of Artemi Nezameyev, he's been tearing it up lately, more than ever. As we take a look at the USHL league leaders, you see Artemi Nezameyev, his name atop 2 categories. He leads the league in points with 29. his teammate Reed with 26. Gunderson tied up for second with Reed. Giacomo Martino, he is in fourth with 25. Riker Lee of the Madison Capitals with 24. And then two players around the USHL, they have 23 points each. While in the goals category, it's again Nizimeyev, the USHL forward of the week, though he's followed by Will Zellers with 15 goals. Zellers, a member of the Green Bay Gamblers, he had himself a good week too. Two guys going at it in Week 11 in the USAHL. Merrill Stenari of the Fargo Force tied up with Zellers with 15 goals, while Reed has 14. Bit of a gap between Reed and Bobby Cowan with 11, who's tied up with two other guys around the USAHL. In the assist category, Landon Gunderson remains on top with 21. Sam Larilla, the defenseman in Fargo, in second with 18. Carmelo Crandell, you have to wonder, is he sharing a line with Artemi Nizimeyev? All those goals, 17 goals. Well, Crandell, 16 assists this year for the Storm. Jack Picard, he's got the same for the Lincoln Stars, while Giacomo Martino comes in fifth with 15. And then the plus-minus category. It can be considered a team stat, but when you're plus 23 like John Stout, he's doing something right. John Stout, the USHL league leader in plus-minus at a plus 23 rating. You have Desiderio in Dubuque, plus 19. Austin Moline, plus 17. Alexander Rybakov and Bryce Ingles, a pair of defensemen for the Herd, at plus 16 and plus 15. And then four players around the USHL holding on to a plus 13 ranking. Now, we can't forget about the goalies, and I love this week's USHL goaltending leaderboards among qualified goalies. That means you've played at least 420 minutes. But what I love about this leaderboard is you don't have a single goalie leading two categories. Alan Lendak and Melvin Strahl, now they're tied for first in wins. Strahl has a sole possession of first in the goals against average category with a 2.05. Then it's Jan Spunar for Dubuque, sole possession of first in save percentage with 9.23. And Jan Shostak, he's got sole possession of first in the shutouts category with 3 shutouts. It really shows that it's not just a handful of goalies in the USHL that are playing well. Every single night when you go into a USHL facility to watch a USHL game, you're going to be treated to a really great performance in between the pipes. But let's take a look at the rest of those leaderboards. In the wins category, we mentioned Lendak in Fargo, Strahl in Youngstown tied up at the top with 11. Shostak has 10. Spunar and Moffitt have 9. Two goalies in the USHL have 8 wins to their name this season. Strahl leads the league in goals against average with a 2.05. Shika Gadziev of the Muskegon Lumberjacks in second with 2.15. Shostak, he is tied up with 2.15 as well. Lendak is in fourth with a 2.24 GAA. Then Ryan Manzella, a new name on the goaltending leaderboards. He's in fifth with a 2.26. Stephen Peck of the Lumberjacks rounding it out at a 2.27. Save percentage, Spunar, 9.23. He picked up a win on Friday night in which he made 30 saves on 31 shots, or rather 29 saves on 30 shots. Either way, a lot of saves on a lot of shots. He made a lot of saves on Saturday too. Despite earning the loss on his record, Spunar has been phenomenal all season, including this weekend for the Fighting Saints. Shika Gadziev in second at a 9.22. Stephen Peck in third with a 9.20. Couple of low-scoring games in Muskegon between the Fighting Saints and Lumberjacks last week. Those 3 goalies are the goalies that got the starts. They all looked spectacular. Cameron Hendrickson of the Omaha Lancers in fourth with a 9.18. Shostak in fifth, 9.16. And Lendak in sixth with a 9.14. And then Melvin Strahl said, hey guys, don't forget about me. There were 4 goalies tied for second in the USAHL with 2 shutouts. Strahl picked up his second of the year last week. So he's up there in a 5-way tie for second, but Jan Shostak of the Lincoln Stars alone and free in first with 3 shutouts. It was a great week in the USAHL. It's going to be another great week in the USAHL, and we're going to talk about it. But first, we're going to send things over to our Week 11 interview here on the U Show. It is the head coach and general manager of the Des Moines Buccaneers, Matt Curley, alongside Bucs forward Jack Kernan. They get the week started off right on Thursday in Rochester, New York, taking on the Green Bay Gamblers as part of the 2024 American Cup. It's a great, great event. A lot of college scouts, a lot of USHL scouts, a lot of youth players, and of course the two headline games this year, the Buccaneers and the Green Bay Gamblers. Let's welcome in to the U Show our Week 11 interview with head coach and general manager Matt Curley and Bucks forward Jack Kernan.
Awesome. Welcome back into the U Show. Ezra Gennello now joined by the head coach and general manager for the Des Moines Buccaneers, Matt Curley, alongside Bucks forward Jack Kernan. And fellas, welcome to the U Show from Rochester.
Thanks for having us.
Yep. It's an exciting time of year, the American Cup. You guys take on the Green Bay Gamblers. You guys have been east for the last little bit. You took on the NTDP in Youngstown last week. Have you guys stayed out in that area of the country for the past week or so?
Yeah, so we actually did stay out. We traveled on Thanksgiving Day, had a great meal from Owen Dyer's family, our captain, and it was great doing that as a group. Had a good game Friday, played Youngstown Saturday, and we actually came up to the Niagara Falls region to skate out of Niagara University for a couple days. Had some connections here, so set up home base, so to speak, for a couple of days here in the Falls, and then head out to Rochester on Wednesday after practice. So it's makes for a nice little trip for the guys and for us, and make the most of this trip out here with 2 games in Rochester and then actually hitting Muskegon on the way back. So fairly unique trip for us and our guys in this league, but I don't want to speak for Jack, but I think it's something we've been looking forward to, and we're happy to be a part of it.
It's the road is a really good opportunity to bond with your teammates and get the group a little closer. So it's awesome when you get those nice long road trips, and then of course your bed, it feels that much nicer when you get back after it. But
Exactly.
Part of that road trip, you mentioned you guys got to hang out at Niagara and skate at the university, and the American Cup, it's put together to make it a lot easier for the college scouts to come see not just the USHL talent, but also the youth players as well, who are going to make their way through the USHL to college. Kind of talk to us, Matt, about the importance of getting to take part in a showcase in an event like the American Cup.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. When this was approached last year for us and have an opportunity to partake, we jumped at the opportunity. On 2 levels. One, for us as an organization, as a team, to spread our brand. We have several kids out in the New York region, strong ties in Buffalo, Rochester, the Northeast. So one, to show the connection there and get our name out there. But then 2, in terms of the youth hockey and the kids that are out here, a great opportunity for them hopefully to see what this level's about. When they work their way up at the youth level and those youth tournaments, they don't often get to see maybe the end goal of what they're striving towards and working to get to. I know they know we exist out in the Midwest, but they may not have a real good understanding of what we're all about. So with us being out here at Green Bay, I think it's a good opportunity for those kids and families to get a good look at what this level is really about, how really talented it is, how hard it is. And, hopefully coupled with their event, their own events, will inspire them to, hey, maybe whoever's watching, right, and give them a real sense of what they're striving and working towards. So again, just happy to be a part of it and looking forward for a great couple days.
Yeah, and Jack, you went through this process a couple of years ago, being a prospective player in the USHL. So if you were to see someone, one of the guys in the youth tournament this coming weekend, kind of what are you saying to them as they kind of embark on that same journey that you just went through?
Yeah, I mean, keep it simple. I just keep up, you just got to keep your head down and keep going, but to have fun with it, because it's the game we love to do. So at the end of the day, you should have fun doing it and never take it too seriously. But there's 16 teams in this league. Not everyone's gonna be able to make it, so you got to be the odd one out to try to get here. And it's going to take a lot of work, a lot of dedication and hard work, but it's obtainable, to say the least.
And Des Moines obviously has the rich history of the Buccaneers organization, a lot of NHL and Division I products. Alex Laferriere in LA, he's the first one that comes to mind. And so, Matt, I'll ask you first, kind of what's the selling point for the Buccaneers organization for a reason why a player should choose to come play in Des Moines and play in the USHL?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of reasons. One, one of the oldest kind of cornerstone crown jewel, if you will, pieces of this league. We've been around for well over 40 years. A lot of history, a lot of tremendous players have come through here. I'd like to think good coaching and good development. I think in the past couple years, we had Ilya Protas was a third rounder last year. We have several NHL prospects this year. Kids like Jack, who are outstanding players that are going to be great college players, and I know we'll have a chance to play professionally. The city is a wonderful town. Travel is relatively easy given our locale. Our fan base is outstanding, one of the best in the league. So the list is, endless, so to speak, in terms of the opportunity and why this is such a special place. And more than anything, as Jack said, it's one of 16 spots. So any spot in our league is good and equality, and we all have our pros and cons, so to speak. But certainly we're proud to have our guys a part of our team, and I would feel very confident saying guys that have played here the past however many years, and certainly recently, would say that their experience here has been not only a lot of fun and wonderful and all that, but it certainly has helped them prepare them for the next level, whether it be college, pro, or beyond. So, I think there's a lot of good things here in Des Moines, and certainly looking for kids that share that same passion and feeling as we do about the Bucks.
For sure. And Jack, we'll ask you one more question here, and that's just, what's your favorite part about being a Buccaneer?
I think the favorite part would just have to be playing in front of the home crowd. I mean, there's not really anything better than that on a Saturday night when they're, tight game, or maybe you're blowing a team out. They're always into it. They're going to keep the energy going good in the barn, and there's nothing better than that.
The Recplex, it gets loud. We got to go there earlier this year. It is it's an awesome spot, not just to watch a hockey game, but I'm sure to play a hockey game too.
Mm-hmm. For sure it is.
It's exciting over there in Des Moines. It's exciting this weekend in Rochester for the American Cup. So guys, I really appreciate you taking the time out of your busy week, and we'll be watching as you guys take on the Gamblers this weekend out in Rochester.
Good deal.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Welcome to the United States Hockey League.
Puck comes back out. Levshunov skating down. Nice move and a goal!
Just spectacular.
That's what an all USHL player does when the lights shine the brightest.
Celebrini, Finley cuts in.
Is Gen Z the laziest generation?
Yeah. We don't work hard. We expect big promotions right away.
McDavid, the youngest captain in history.
We're addicted to screen time. So worried about self-care.
Suzuki scores! Look out!
And we don't adhere to dress codes.
We always want everything handed to us. Kids these days.
Welcome back into the U Show. Ezra Gennello along with you. I'm running out of time here, but I have to say thank you so much to Matt Curley, the head coach general manager in Des Moines, as well as Jack Kernan joining us this morning on the U Show. We had some winter storms going on this morning, last night, and currently right now in Muskegon. So the interview was done at my apartment. So not just a thank you from me, but my dog Millie, who actually you might have seen sneaking her head from behind me during that interview. And an awesome conversation with Coach Curley and Jack Kernan. I can tell you from firsthand experience, playing in Des Moines is such a fun opportunity as a broadcaster, seeing the atmosphere last year at Buccaneer Arena, this year at the Recplex. It is so loud, and Buccaneer fans, just like Coach Curley said, they are passionate. They are some of the best fans in the USAHL. It is a hard task as an away team to go into Des Moines and win a hockey game. But a big thank you to them. They kick off the USAHL's 12th week of the regular season in Rochester, New York against the Green Bay Gamblers. Let's take a look at that Week 12 schedule. Every game in the USHL, with the exception of 2 this weekend, can be found on the official live stream partner of the league, Flow Hockey. We mentioned at the Regplex in Rochester, New York, the Buccaneers and Gamblers kick off Week 12 at the American Cup. Puck drop at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on Thursday night. Then on Friday, we got a nice 8-game slate. Cedar Rapids pays a visit to the NTDP at USA Hockey Arena. That game and the back end of their 2-game weekend series will both be found on USA Hockey TV alongside voice of the program, Pete Krupski. Every other game will be found on Flow Hockey, including Des Moines and the Gamblers, the back end of the American Cup on Friday night. The Lumberjacks take on the Youngstown Phantoms, the 2 hottest teams in the USHL's Eastern Conference. Muskegon 8-2 in their last 10 games. Youngstown 9-1, including 9 straight wins for the Phantoms. Puck drop for that game on Friday night is at 7 p.m. Eastern. It is teddy bear toss night in Muskegon. I can tell you that the plan for the past month and a half, the sole focus has been for selling tickets and getting Trinity Health Arena packed. They actually had a deal, a Cyber Monday deal, $10 tickets. They've extended it because they want it to be an awesome experience, as many teddy bears as possible for 2 of the top teams in the Eastern Conference. Tri-City plays host to the Sioux City Musketeers. Dubuque goes at it in Dupaco Cowbell Cup action against the visiting Waterloo Blackhawks, while the Force welcome the Stars. The Steel head north to Madison to take on the Capitals, while the Sioux Falls Stampede make their way into Omaha as the nightcap on Friday night. Then on Saturday, 7 more games in the USAHL. The back end of the Muskegon Lumberjacks, Youngstown Phantoms, 2-game set. The back end of the Rough Riders, NTDP, 2-game set. The Herd take on the Storm in Kearney at the Viaero Center, while the Stars are in Fargo. Sioux City visits Omaha, and the Fighting Saints and Blackhawks, they swap locations, the back end of their home-and-home series. Chicago goes to Madison, and I know you got to wrap back around to the left side of the screen here for Sunday's schedule. 2 games in the USAHL, the Des Moines Buccaneers and Muskegon Lumberjacks. The last game in a lengthy, 5-game road trip for the Des Moines Buccaneers. They had the NTDP and Youngstown last week. They have Green Bay this week, followed by Muskegon on Sunday. Waterloo plays host to the Sioux City Musketeers. Lots of hockey going on this week in the USAHL, Week 12 in the USAHL. No matter which game you turn on, you're going to be treated to a spectacular performance. Tune in on Thursday night and Friday night, the American Cup in Rochester, New York, powered by Wegmans. The Des Moines Buccaneers, the Green Bay Gamblers, they go at it. The Lumberjacks and Phantoms, another one of those big matchups. And one more for you. I want to say, let's take one more look back at that schedule for this weekend. I want to say one more game you're going to want to pay attention to is going to be, let's go with the NTDP and the Cedar Rapids Rough Riders. Cedar Rapids, they're coming off of 2 wins last week against the Waterloo Blackhawks. The NTDP, despite being towards the bottom of the USHL standings that we'll look at right now, they haven't played as many games as everybody else. They're getting a chance to get back into the USHL action. Real quick, the standings as they stand today. Dubuque in first of the East, Lincoln in first of the West and the league. Muskegon, Youngstown, Madison, they round out the top portion of the Eastern Conference. Green Bay, Cedar Rapids, Chicago, and the NTDP, the bottom half of the Eastern Conference. Over on the western side of things, it's Lincoln, Fargo, Sioux Falls, and Waterloo at the top. Tri-City, Sioux City, Des Moines, and Omaha round out the Western Conference. We appreciate you too much. I'm 3 minutes over my deadline, but thank you so much for sticking around and tuning in to the U Show. Week number 11 here on YouTube Live. Ezra Gennello along with you. We can't wait to see you next week for Week 12 of the U Show. We'll talk about Week 12, a little bit about Week 13, and maybe about some holiday plans we have coming up. Happy holidays. Enjoy the rest of your week. Tune into the American Cup this Thursday. We'll see you next week.